What is up guys, Andy Forest Team Runner here, back with another video, and today it's a sad video. Today is the day that I announced the Brecon Beacons mountain marathon that I've been training for is in fact cancelled. So with just over 2 weeks to go, what are we going to be doing with the training? What are we going to be doing next? We're going to be covering all of that today. I'm going to sit down, talk to you about my options and then what is beyond October as we move into winter. So there we go, just wrapping up a 6.5 mile tempo run out on the trails in the Hoka One Rincon 2. So that was a good run, just testing to make sure everything still worked after Tuesday's absolute beasting of a run. A little bit worrying times on Wednesday and Thursday, I was feeling a little bit iffy. We'll go into all of that very shortly, but the main talking point today is that the Brecon Beacons Trail Mountain Marathon is indeed cancelled. So I want to talk about what's coming up next with training, with racing. There is a couple of options out there on the table that I'm assessing now, and then I want to talk beyond that, what we're going to be doing leading into November and December, because we're going to be training for more races. I've got some plans that hopefully in races that will be on during lockdown. So if you're excited for today's video, guys, make sure you give it a like, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel for weekly running content. We'll start with the main talking point, which is the cancellation of the race. So I started to have my suspicions that the race might be cancelled probably around 2-3 weeks ago, when the first town in Wales went on a local lockdown because of the rapidly rising COVID cases here in the UK. Wales seemed to have a very quick spurt, a quick growth, quicker than the UK, but I think the UK now is catching it up above and beyond, because whatever's going on in the UK right now, it's just on the trend back up, which is so frustrating because, of course, as a lot of you guys know, we're back in a kind of restricted lockdown, not as bad as it was before, but there are some restrictions coming into play. If I'm completely honest with you, I can only see it getting worse as the winter progresses, but that's not for this discussion. Basically, Wales went into decline a lot quicker. Local lockdowns started happening a lot more. Powys, which is the area in which the Brecons are in and the race was going to be held, was an area that had not really been affected and was not in a local lockdown. But after discussions between Trail Events Co. and, which are the company that run the race, and the Brecon Beacons sort of area, the conservation area, all of that, they have decided to postpone and suspend all events that are going on around there, which is, I completely understand. It's very frustrating from my perspective, but it is completely understandable. We need to stay safe. We need to be strong. We need to, I guess, ride the storm together. A race is a race, and there will always be next year or the year after, fingers crossed. So I think from my perspective now, it's just about sitting down, revising what we've been doing, because it's taken me a good 18 months to actually talk the talk, whereas I've been saying so many times I'd love to do hilly races, a mountainous race, and I've never done it, and I finally this time booked it, did a good block of training towards it, and now it's been cancelled. So it's about sitting down, utilising this block of training that I've done, capping it off, finishing it in some way so that I can put a stamp on the end of this block and then moving on to the next block of training. So I guess over the next 2 or 3 weeks, what I'm looking to do is come to a conclusion with this training block. I decided after Tuesday, which we'll talk about very shortly, to start kind of a rapid taper for something, some race, but just to freshen up in general. I have no idea what weekend I'm going to do anything on. It's not going to be the weekend you see this video, but whether I do something the weekend after or the weekend after that. There are some race options, there are some time trial options, like a personal time trial option for me to do. Whatever it is, I'm just trying to kind of get my head around it. This is the first time in 18 months where I've talked the talk and walked the walk. I've said multiple times on this channel I want to push myself in a different type of race, a mountainous race. I finally booked a race, blocked out the time to train for it, trained really hard, hit some 10,000 foot plus weeks in training, and now of course the race is cancelled. So I need to kind of cap this off now with something, whatever that might be. I don't know yet. I will sit down and assess over the weekend, see what options there are for me locally, because I don't want to take the mickey and travel, I guess, too far. I'm not averse to travelling, but Wales have said in particular, don't come to Wales unless it's essential, family, work, you know, unless it's essential, don't come. And I'm kind of trying to take that tact with the UK now. It's our responsibility to get a grip of this situation and be sensible in ourselves, and I don't want to put myself in any unnecessary situations that I don't need to. So I'm looking within an hour radius of where I am. I don't want to be going any further than that, to be honest with you. So I'm trying to work out what I want to do. Sitting down, as I said, I'm just taking it easy now. We'll talk about the run very shortly, but taking it easy over the next 2 or 3 weeks and just kind of tapering down for something. So as for training, it's been an interesting week, to be honest with you. On Tuesday, after the effort, I really felt wiped out. I can't begin to explain how much of an intense effort that was. I know a lot of you guys commented on the video with Matt and said, you know, that was brilliant time, don't worry about losing, you did amazing. And I appreciate it, thank you. It's all in good jest, it's all good fun. Yes, I lost, yes, it's frustrating, but I can't overlook the training effect that race, that effort, 10 miles on the trails at that pace would have done for my training. But sadly, I then went out on Wednesday. It's not sadly, it's quite funny actually. I went out on Wednesday for an easy 6-mile jog with James, and I took a tumble, I fell over, I was so tired, I hit a tree root, I just went down like a sack of spuds. The noise that came out of my mouth, as James said, it sounded like the soul was escaping from your body. It was quite funny, and we laughed about it the whole way. No damage was done, no injuries, nothing. It was just a very gentle timber fall, hit the ground, get back up, and off we go. So I kind of knew at that point I was super tired, both of us were quite tired, and I thought I should probably take Thursday off, just completely rest, rejuvenate, feel good. Didn't have the best night's sleep after Tuesday anyway with the baby, had a better night's sleep Wednesday, rested Thursday, and then today just going out there, testing the waters. I wanted to go out for a steady run, and very positively the body responded nicely and kind of let me go a bit faster. It just kind of got into the motion of going up to a tempo pace. So we started steady and we progressed it into a tempo, hence why I've called it a tempo run, because the majority of it was spent at that effort level, which is good. I let the body do what it wanted to do, and that's a good response I wanted to see. Taking that day off has allowed me to kind of reset and just kind of cruise down. But it was only a 40-minute tempo run, so a shorter effort than most, a shorter effort than what we've been doing. And as I said, there's nothing going to be bigger than that effort-wise now going down over the next 2 or 3 weeks. And once this race is done, what do we have next? Well, the main goal after this is just to take a little bit of a break from whatever we do. I'm just going to have a few days off after the race, the block, whatever it is. Just literally no running for a few days, depending on the distance and terrain and what I decide to do. I might even take a week off, who knows? And after that, I'm just going to do a couple of weeks of easy mileage. So no workouts, easy, steady work, nothing else. No intervals, no hills, nothing like that. Just kind of get back into it. I want to push the reset button. It's been an insane summer. It's been insane training, but you know when the body is ready for a break. You know when it's sensible to have a break. And I feel like right now, despite feeling good after today's effort, I know that deep down, the accumulation of the training over the summer requires me to take some time off. So I'm going to be taking some time off, maybe, as I said, 3, 4, 5 days, whatever it might be. Just absolutely nothing. A lot of walking, keeping the body active, and then getting back into it slowly but surely with some easy work. Future, looking forward, there are a few races in November and December that I've got my eye on, 10Ks, that sort of thing, nothing bigger than a 10K, but the main goal is then going to be to do a 12-week training plan starting in November or end of October, whenever it might be, for the Gloucester Marathon on January the 24th, I think it is. So that's looking forward, the future goal that I'm going to be training for, doing a proper marathon roadblock, and fingers crossed they'll be able to make that event COVID safe, because I think they're starting to put preparations in that I've seen on social media for that. So fingers crossed they'll get the go ahead. Things won't be much worse than it is, and we'll be able to get our head down, train over winter, and work really hard towards getting a decent time there. So there we go, that's the update for today. Apologies it wasn't a super exciting video, but it was one of those videos where I needed to sit down, give you an update on everything that's going on, express my disappointment, but understanding for the Brecon Beacons Trail Mountain Marathon to being cancelled. But exciting goals moving forward. We're just going to keep taking whatever 2020 throws at us, and I'm decided now I'm just going to drop into whatever races I can get into that are on locally and just race. I miss racing. There are races coming back around, and yeah, throughout November and December, just going to drop into as many as I can and see how we do. So that's it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed the update. I hope your training is going well, and I hope no races that you're training for is being cancelled. If they are, let me know in the comments below, and we'll wallow in our own self-pity together. If you enjoyed it, make sure you give it a like, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel for weekly run content, and I will see you on the next one. Until then.